A teacher's work is sacred. Geronda. Sometimes the difficulties that educators encounter at school stem from their colleagues more than anything else. Today, one needs a high degree of discernment and enlightenment to deal correctly with one's colleagues. Every situation needs to be met with special prudence and divine illumination. Sometimes it may even be better not to make one's fate public. It is better to move quietly and let our sound orthodox life speak for us. This way we will help people without irritating them. In education, particularly, there are certain issues that resemble tumors. Some are benign, some are malignant. If we take a position based on reason alone, we may end up doing more harm than good. If we operate and the tumor is malignant, we may risk a metastasis. It needs careful cauterization. Isn't it true, though, Geronda, that those educators who want to do their job right face greater difficulties because their hands are tied? If a person really wants to do his job right, he will find a way. People have managed to do that under atheistic governments, and they cannot manage here in Greece. Once a Greek fellow went to Bulgaria, visited a school, and started giving away little crosses to the children. A Communist Party member was standing nearby and noticed him. As soon as the teacher realized what was going on, she went to the children, took the crosses from their hands, and scolded them for having accepted them. But then, as soon as the atheist official left, she gave the crosses back to the children. Do you see how the teacher was abiding by the law, but also by God? Think of Greek teachers in Asia Minor, under the Turks. They lived in such difficult times, and yet they were able to offer so much. This is because they put their whole heart in their job. They cared deeply for their students. They had such piety, such a spirit of sacrifice. Think how the wise Saint Arsenios of Cappadocia acted when he lived in Pharasa. He had prepared a classroom which was forbidden, but instead of desks he had placed the hides of goats and sheep on the floor. The children would kneel on them while attending their lessons. In this wise way he managed not to provoke the Turks, since even if they saw them, they would think that they were all praying. When Saint Arsenios wanted to take the children for short school trips, he gathered them in one of his own fields that looked like a garden. If you see a Turk coming along, he instructed them, look busy. Pretend that you are cutting a branch or something so that he will think you are working on the garden. And the poor children did exactly as they were told. You see, if the Turks had realized that he was taking them on a class trip, he would have been in big trouble. That's how the secret school worked. When the Turks left, the children went back to their games. Saint Arsenios did the same thing in the summer. He found ways to gather them together and help them with their lessons so that they would not forget what they had learned during the year. Geronda. Why did Saint Arsenios write the lessons in the Turkish language using the Greek alphabet? He wanted to teach the children Turkish so that they could get by. This way, if the Turks caught him teaching a class and saw the Greek letters, he would still be speaking Turkish, and they would not be enraged. Not only were the children taught both languages, but the Turks were not irritated. The Saint imparted to his students all his life experiences and the precise spirit of an Orthodox life, filled with piety and devotion. This is why I am emphasizing that if we really want to work with young people, we can do it under any circumstances. I ran across a beautiful book about northern Epirus in Albania under the communists, written by a teacher. This woman is worth 500 men. It is amazing how she spoke to the tour guides. She had them mesmerized. She deserves congratulations. It is so important to have good teachers, especially in our days. Children are like blank tapes. Either you can fill them with Byzantine church music or with filthy songs. A teacher's work is sacred work. His or her responsibility is enormous. If he is conscientious, God will pay him a great wage. Teachers should teach young people the fear of God. They should find a way to convey to them truths about God and about our country. Let them sow seeds and not expect to see results right away. Nothing is wasted. In time, their effort will bear fruit. Teachers should always show goodness, leniency, and love for the children they teach. They should try to awaken Philorimo in their hearts. Children need love, they need warmth, especially when they do not come from loving and warm homes. If teachers love children, they will be loved by them in return, and their work will be easier. Our teacher used to strike us with his rod whenever someone misbehaved, but he loved us and we loved him. He did not have children of his own, and he had great love for all children. I often say that parents who have many children are great. Yet, even greater are the genuine teachers who help children be born into a new life, and in this way become parents hundreds of times over. They give spiritually regenerated human beings to society, who help make the world a better place.